There's been a lot of talk about a carbon tax in Canada and in Ontario as well. British Columbia has instituted a carbon tax, and a lot of British Columbia is like Northern Ontario. So it would be good for us to take a look at how it's working in British Columbia and see if it's applicable in Ontario. The carbon tax is a way of monetizing the true cost of carbon. Forestry in Canada produces 16% of Canada's total greenhouse gases, which is 33 million tons of CO2. Now in Europe they are charging $30 a ton for carbon. So if we charged $10 a ton for the carbon that forestry in Canada releases, then we would be looking at $330 million worth of carbon. So, and if we did charge what Europe charges, it would be close to $1 billion a year for the true price of forestry, of the carbon that forestry releases. So if we had a carbon charge on the CO2 that the forestry industry in Canada releases, it would generate $1 billion for the government. And with that $1 billion, they should reduce the price of labor in Canada. What the Green Party wants is to cut taxes for people. And when you cut taxes for people, you make people more employable. Then businesses will hire more people because labor is cheaper. And if we shift this levy onto carbon, it generates money which can be used to reduce taxes. And so that's what the tax shift is all about. So I think the carbon tax shift is beneficial for Northern Ontario because it would make people cheaper to employ, which means we'd have more jobs, more greener jobs, and at the same time it would encourage smart decisions in the forests and in the mines to reduce the amount of CO2 that is released, which helps us all because climate change is impacting all of us and could be very detrimental to life on Earth and to all of our communities. So it's important that Northern Ontario, like everywhere on Earth, address the climate change issue, and one way of doing that is to charge levies on the carbon that is released and to use that money to reduce income taxes.